Hi, good morning, everyone. Wanted to give you a quick update here on the XRP, BTC, Ethereum chart. It looks like we might have a little bit more chop here for a good part of the day. I do want to show you a couple of observations I've made here in this run up. If you remember, yesterday before this run up, we were sitting here and I mentioned how this was most likely the wave 2 and that we really wanted to see a very strong wave 3. So let me put on some fib levels here of how you measure wave 3 targets after you believe a wave 2 is in. So this is the larger degree Elliott Wave 1 up here. This is your wave 2. Then we had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 off the bottom that came up to this 886 fib level. The bots love that fib level there. That was around 308. And then we did a little bit of what I call Fib Pong, where we came back. XRP especially loves to do this Fib Pong move between the 886 and the 618. And so this was what I thought was a shallow wave 2, followed by a very explosive wave 3. And if you notice, this particular algo is loving this 2.272 fib level with the XRP token. We front ran it. We didn't actually wick it. I think on a couple of exchanges we might have wicked that 1.272 fib level, but yeah, we came up just a couple of thousandths of a penny short there. And now we're seeing what is likely our wave 4 correction. So this was an A, this was your B wave. And then, sorry, I got a lot of thoughts on my mind here because we're getting a lot of data coming in, which is always good. I mean, that's what we need in trading is data. So this was your A wave, this is your B wave. And now clearly we're putting in a C wave. I'm hoping this C wave is fairly shallow, hoping that we, either bounce here or right at 328.38. Wave C's typically, if you measure them with a Fibonacci tool from the bottom of wave A to the top of wave B, a C wave typically goes to the 1.272. But if you notice, we're getting a little bit of a wick reaction off that 1.113 fib level at 329.43. So we just want to watch this on some of the smaller time frames like the 5-minute. We probably still have one more wave down. We could come as low as 325, 326. Let me measure the larger wave 4 move off of that though. Hold on one second. I'm going to leave that larger fib there to show you something in a moment. But if you come down here to the bottom of wave, let's go to this intermediate because I think we're in an intermediate move and we still have one more leg up before a little bit of a larger correction, which would be a larger wave 4. So yeah, probably the bottom on this wave 4 correction, if we get the full correction, which sometimes wave 4s are pretty shallow. They don't come back too deep. But if we do get a deep wave 4, I would be looking at nothing lower than around 323.40. 323.40. We could very easily bounce here. I'm on the 5-minute chart. We could very easily bounce here as well. So yeah, that's why trying to trade in these ranges, if you have a good entry down here in the low 3s, or the high 290s, why touch it? Let's just wait for a few days and see where we go. So yeah, so I think we're clearly still in our impulse. This was a very, very strong move. Having this intermediate wave 3, which the larger degree wave 3 that we're putting in, it came all the way past the 1886 pretty much straight. And then we topped out here around the 272, which is about right because if you come over here to the 4-hour, you can see that we had some sell side liquidity here from back on July the 28th. Had some sell side liquidity right at 333. So we're just dealing with some resistance, some sell side liquidity there. This is where the bots love to move price. And like I mentioned, the lowest I think we come here is 323, 324-ish. And then we would continue our march upward. The next target I'm looking at for all this is for us to break out. So I think our next move is going to put us up around the 4618 fib level, either around 396 or 425, 424. So those are the two levels I'm looking at. Again, this is assuming that this is all impulsive, which so far this looks to be impulsive. You had your wave 1 off the bottom. Now you're having your larger wave 3. The wave 3 could still be in play here based on the smaller degree, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 2 plus our third. Then we're getting our shorter degree fourth plus a larger degree third. This might all be confusing, but the Elliott waves get concatenated within each other, kind of like one of those little Russian dolls where you've got the doll within the doll within the doll. Well, that's what you're having to do with Elliott wave, is you're looking, and what is Elliott wave? It's basically just a measure of fear and greed. And Elliott, forget the guy's name, but part of his name is Elliott. I think that's his last name. He just basically posited years ago that, you know, over time you can notice these waves of either greed or these waves of fear. Obviously, fear to the downside, greed to the upside. So, yeah, you know, this entire market runs on a bot algorithm. It's all tied together. Bitcoin, Ethereum, you know. Ethereum came up here and tested the breakout of 4,000, and then we got immediately rejected. Bitcoin is in the process of being used to kind of hold things in place for a while for some reason. So, you know, they love the manipulation. They love to, yeah, all this stuff runs on bots. And so once you find out what the bots are running as far as the Elliott waves, it's easier to start to figure out where the probabilities are for where price is going to move, where you're going to find support for price, and those kinds of things. So I say all of that to say, where was I going? You know, old man brain here. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I think we're in the process of this impulse. Obviously, we want to see continuation here, either up to right around $4 at that 4,618 fib level, or better yet, 424. Let me show you why that's confluence. Because if you come and you draw nope, not there, the larger degree of the overall move that we've been in for the last 8 months. If you come and you draw this fib level, you'll find that there's the 1,272. And what we really need is I'm going to say we probably need a lot better than the 1,272. That's why I'm guessing we might just blast straight through this. Because really, us coming up short here on the 113, the bots that are on the bull side need to really forcefully move us into a bull market, which would make sense because this would be all price discovery. So we could cut through this rather quickly. I do see there's a lot of sell orders on the books around 420, but we could just blast straight through and either hit 539 or 659. So those are some of the levels that I'm watching. Again, all we can do is be patient, wait, see what the data is telling us. And right now, they're just capturing late greed, trying to long this market at the very top. And so they're going to probably do some more rinsing, some more washing. We might come down. Like I said, it looks like we're falling off a cliff now. The world's not coming to an end. Nothing is changing. It's just they're taking out some stops. I mean, look at Ethereum. It's holding. Bitcoin's playing around. It's flea dicking. XRP's doing the same thing. XRP's correcting a little bit more because of how much it ran compared to the others yesterday. And so this is just the bots getting everything nice and in tidy order. Let's draw a fib here and see where we're going. So we don't like the 1,272. So yeah, we're probably coming down here to the 324 area. And hopefully we'll see a bounce there because, again, that would keep us with this internal count a little bit more in line because this was your 1, this was your 2, this is this internal 3, 4 around 324, 323, and then we continue our march because we're in a larger wave 3 that's still getting ready. And again, we're still internal to our recent run up to 366, right? And as if you don't know already, if you draw a fib from the top of that recent move of 366 down to 273, look at where we found resistance, boys and girls. Right there at the 702 at 335. So hopefully we'll find support on this 618 at 327. If not, we might dip a little bit below it. Not a problem. But that's the overall thoughts on where I'm seeing XRP. I think Ethereum is due for a breakout here. I think once we break out of Ethereum, we'll go all the way to 73.20 before an intermediate stop. Bitcoin is also due. So I think the next several days and weeks are looking good for us. So just be patient, be disciplined, and we'll talk soon. Thanks.